So that's pretty boring. I have to admit, right? And when you look in the mirror and say, "Boy, that was a boring lecture," or at least a boring example, it is what it is. So let's dig a little bit more into Arduino information and see what we can figure out. So here's this program that just prints a thing over and over again. Maybe we go to the lecture slides. PowerPoint, even more boring. Let's see, serial communications. Yeah, we did some of that. We did 1, 2, 3. Okay, we did that. We did 1, 2, 3. It goes too fast. We slow it down. We use the delay function, right? And remember, that's in milliseconds. Okay, so we learned about that. Variables. Yeah, this gets more interesting. All right, let's take a look at variables. So, if I'm going to measure temperatures and pressures or distances to the car in front of me, or the strength of the heartbeat, or how much load is on a particular beam or a bridge or whatever, right? I need to store this in a variable, right? And so what a variable is, it's a little spot in the computer's memory that's dedicated to some value, right? And so that's what a variable is. It's important that ahead of the time we have to tell the computer, hey, please reserve this little spot in your memory because I'm going to store the force there or the heartbeat there, or I'm going to store the temperature there or whatever. Right? And there's a bunch of different ways we can do this. Again, you'll learn a lot more about this in comp sci class, but I'll just give you an introduction here. First of all, the simplest one is called the integer, right? And that ranges from negative 32,000 to positive 32,000. And then that corresponds to a 16-bit number, right? So I give it a positive or negative sign, and then 16 decimal places, so that gets me up to 32,000, right? If I need a number bigger than that, no, it's not often that you need a number bigger than this, and we'll talk about that later. But you can go all the way up to long, right? So yeah, no, let's talk about it now. Let's say I'm building my autonomous truck, and I need to know how close am I, to the vehicle in front of me. Well, you might say, well, it could be as many as 2 billion millimeters away. Does it really matter if you're 2,147,483, whatever, 648 or 647? No, you don't need that kind of resolution. You can divide up a reasonable space between you and the car in front of you into 32,000 spaces, and that'll be plenty accurate, right? So typically integers are good enough. Unsigned long, right? If I don't care if it's positive or negative, I know the distance between me and the truck in front of me is hopefully always going to be positive. I can skip the negative sign, and that allows me to double up on the positive side, and I can get 4 billion values out of that. A float, right? A float allows me to have decimal places, right? Remember, these are all integers, right? There's an integer and a long integer. If I need decimal places, I can make it a float, and so I can add decimal places to that. A Boolean variable is just true or false. A character is just one character, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G kind of stuff. And then a string is a bunch of characters put together. For the most part in this class, we're going to use integers and floats, right? Because we don't need anything bigger than 32,000, and we don't need any special decimal places, right? Okay, so that's what variables are. Oh, so now I guess we go into writing a program. So let me escape out of here. We'll go back to here. And I want to write something that, what do I want to do? Oh yeah, I just want to see what happens when I just keep doubling a number. All right, so let's do that. So here's my old one. Let's see, I'm going to maybe save as. I don't want to totally get rid of this stuff, so I'm just going to save this as something new. Save as, and I'm going to print that as my printing trial. We're going to call this doubling a number. Right? I don't want to lose what I've done, so double the number. All right. So what do I want to do here? I need a variable, so I'm going to go way up here, and I'm going to declare a variable, and that number is going to be an integer. Int, I'm going to call it n. And so, of course, I need to add some comments. N is going to be the number that I keep doubling. All right. And then I'm going to say, let's see, instead of print line 1, I'm going to just print the number n. And then I'm going to keep that delay in there for now. No, actually, I'm going to get rid of the delay for now just to see what happens. And then, so once I print n, and I don't know what n is, but I'm going to print n equals 2 times n, right? So what happens? N starts as 1, and then I go through and print it. So I'm going to print the number 1, and then I'm going to say n now becomes 2 times whatever it was before. All right, let's see how this works. So we'll upload this. Wow, that's amazing. It's not often that it compiles correctly the first time. Done uploading. Now we need to view into the, the Sol serial monitor. Oh, that sucks. Zeros. Ah, yeah, okay. I think I know what I do. I need to give this some initial value, right? So, because 0 times 2 is always going to be 0, so I'm going to say int n equals 1. Right, so I'm going to declare this once. Remember, this only happens once up here. Let's see if that works. Okay, good. All right, now so I'm going to take a look at what's going on, go to my serial monitor. What happened there? Why is it still giving me zeros? Okay, that's kind of strange. So let's reset this. Things are happening a little too fast, so I'm going to set a delay in here. Delay by, I don't know, how about half a second? So that, again, I did it wrong. Delay so I can see. We'll upload that, see what happens. Uploading, done uploading. Go up here again to our serial monitor. Oh, there we go. Sweet. So it started out as 0, and then it keeps double. Ah, you're killing me here. What the heck happened there? Hold on, let's do that again. I'm gonna push the little button. There's a reset button. Let me switch over to my webcam. So there's this little reset button here. I'm going to turn the serial monitor on and then reset that button. Let's see what happens. Okay, so clearly something went wrong. I'm going to push the button. There we go. Yeah, now that's how it's supposed to go. It doubles every time. This program is working. Or not. All right, what happened? Let's go back to the PowerPoint slides and maybe the answer's in there. Oh yeah, looks like this happened to someone before. Can anybody tell me what happened here? The problem is, so integers only go up to 32,000, right? So it didn't take me very long. Let's see this again. If I'm going to hit the white button to reset this, little reset button. So everything works great, and it just keeps doubling the number. Isn't that amazing how fast numbers get big if you just double it every time? And then pretty soon I get bigger than an integer allows. So I've got to come up with some way to fix that. We'll do that in the next program.